Imagine a reality where you were fully tapped into your divinity. What would that look like for you? In a world where we are manipulated into surrendering our power and authenticity, there are those of us who actively heal and work our magic to help others step into their highest versions. My name is KaSandra. I am the witch, spiritualist, founder, creator, and poet of Magic of Eden. My mission and purpose is to fearlessly share my magic, art, and wisdom to help others reclaim their divinity through poetry and ritual magic. On my podcast, I'll provide tarot readings, reveal prophetic messages and visions, share my astrological insights, discuss and perform my poetry. I'll also feature other creatives to ensure an infinite space of love, healing, and world unity. Good evening, everyone. For those of you guys that are new here, my name is KaSandra. I am the witch, the spiritualist, the founder and creator of Magic of Eden. I am also a published author, writer, and poet here to help you reclaim your divinity by merging the arts of poetry and magic. For those of y'all that have been here for a while, what's up, fam? You guys already know the deal. It is good to be in good love and good spirit and in high vibes with you all, and I am super excited to be bringing you guys another podcast episode, this time detailing the full moon coming up in the sign of Capricorn. Now, what's so special about this full moon is that it is a super moon. So with super moons, they appear to be a lot closer to the earth, and so they appear to be bigger, they appear to be brighter, and they can also be a lot more intense. Now, full moons, if you guys don't know this, they are energies that are very obvious. They are very loud. They are all up in your space, all up in your face. They are very revealing, and they also are amplifiers. So whatever energy you're feeling, the moon is going to amplify that. And if there's something that is untouched, the moon is going to reveal that. And it's going to do it on a very spiritual and emotional level. Full moons are extremely intense. Now, on the more positive air quote side, they also are times where we can see the seeds emerge and sprout that we set intentions for during the new moon. Now, having said that, I actually want to take a couple moon cycles back, starting with the full moon in Sagittarius. Now, if you guys recall, I did a podcast episode on the full moon in Sagittarius, and that was all about us raising our consciousness and awareness through the exploration of life and having fun and things of that nature. And we, at that time, we're setting our intentions for simply just the enjoyment of life and figuring out who we are by understanding and interacting with other people and things of that nature, going out, having fun, letting our hair down, and doing it in a way that's playful. And then after that, we had a new moon in Gemini. Now, the new moon in Gemini was a time for us to make a list of the things that we want to see grow. We were in our spaces where we were more drawn to writing and, again, making those lists and things of that nature. So it was more quiet, because with new moons, they are very quiet. I want to say they are a bit more passive and they're more reflective and things of that nature. So we started with the full moon in Sagittarius, and then from there, whatever lessons we came across or learned, we reflected on those, and we went to our journals, we wrote down the things that we felt, the things that we seen, the things that we experienced. And now, at the time of this full moon, the intentions that were set during the Gemini new moon, we are now being called to take action and implement and do the work to make those intentions grow and sprout and things of that nature. That's the first energy that I'm feeling, or the first download that I'm getting for this full moon, Now, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now, Saturn is all about restriction, boundaries, responsibility, maturity, spiritual maturity, and learning those harsh lessons that help us to withstand the test of time. Now, Capricorn is a sign, for one, that is cardinal. It is an earth sign, it is feminine, and again, it is cardinal. So Capricorn takes initiative and does what it needs to do to make sure that the world, and that whatever it puts its hands on is structured. And not even just structured, but also firmly rooted and grounded and unmovable, right? Because, of course, it's earth energy. Now, Saturn also rules the skeletal system and the bones in the body. So this is all about our ability to remain intact and in one piece as we maneuver throughout reality to keep our organs protected and things of that nature. So immediately I'm being drawn to talk about the importance of protection here. Now, this full moon is happening during Cancer season, which is Capricorn's opposite. Now, Cancer is a notoriously known and also misunderstood, but we'll get to that in a minute. Cancer is known to be very soft, to be very nurturing, to be very loving, but to also be very moody. Cancers are also known to be very powerful with their emotions, and they draw power from their emotions. And as a result of that, they have this sense of like emotional intelligence that is just elite and fucking top tier. I mean, let's just be fucking real. They are like the divine mothers of the zodiac. And I mean this on a very spiritual, emotional, and loving level. And they, in a sense, create this safe emotional space for other people in which they can go home to said space. And that is extremely important. Now, having said that, there is this need for some people who possess this energy, whether they are a Cancer or a Capricorn or whatever your sun sign, your astrological sign is. Some of you guys may feel that at the time of the full moon, you may feel a need to protect yourself and set strong boundaries. I'm getting a sense that some of you guys have felt like you were taken advantage of, or that some people have tried to push your buttons because they didn't believe that there was a flip that could be switched, if that makes sense. It's like they were poking in and playing with that soft side of you. They were taking advantage of your loving nature, and as a result of that, at this time you may feel the need to blow up and just say, you know what, fuck this shit. And you may even be ready to fight, because Cancers are notoriously known for for fighting, at least the ones that I know. So some of you guys may be under this energy where you feel the need to take extra precaution to protect this space, to protect your home environment, and to set boundaries, and to cast your spells, and to work with certain roots, herbs, and flowers to help to set the tone of protection around your home. And I also kind of feel like, for whatever reason, this is the download that I'm getting right now as I'm speaking, because this is a channel as well, is that some of you guys are also in a space where you're wanting for someone in your home environment, particularly a mother figure, to take responsibility for the role that they played in your emotional trauma. For some reason, I do get a sense that that is coming out during this full moon. It's all about being responsible, and for people taking the necessary actions that they need to take in order to help make this right. And I'm also hearing the word justice here, and I'm also seeing the King of Cups as well, and the Queen of Cups in reverse here. So I feel like there's this need for, or you may be feeling the need for, or you may want someone, again, particularly a mother figure or someone who embodies this type of feminine energy, to own up to their mistakes and just tell the truth and make it right. For whatever reason, that is what's coming through right now as I'm speaking. Now, we are going to move forward. Now, moving forward, of course, I want to say too that during Cancer season, I know that some people may not even know this, but they may become a little bit more emotionally inclined, or they may feel a lot more in tune with their emotions than normal. Now, what I'm hearing right now are the words emotional responsibility. Now, Capricorn is the sign of responsibility. It does what it needs to do. It is disciplined. It will just do what it needs to do. It will take initiative. Now, the funny thing is, though, is that Cancer is also cardinal, and so is Capricorn. So when you have a full moon and a cardinal sign happening in a cardinal season, it really does have this way of making you want to take charge and making you want to do better, to receive better, if that makes sense. Now, again, going back to the words emotional responsibility. Now, I'm going to let you guys know this real quick. I need you to take this as it resonates, because it ain't going to resonate with everybody. And some of you guys might be pissed off by this message. It is what it is. I'm the messenger here. My ego is not present. I am just letting you guys know what's up. This is just the download that's coming through. Some people, if not you, others, have done things to cause others emotional damage and emotional trauma. At the end of the day, yes, it is all about what we accept as people. But if we have to be honest and say that some people are very giving and some people, again, take advantage of that. For whatever reason, Spirit is saying that at the time of the full moon, if you have done something to cause some type of emotional distress to someone else, Spirit is saying that it may be wise or would be wise for you to take full responsibility for your actions and the way that you reacted and what you did throughout this time. For some of you, this looks like you hurting a partner in a relationship. For some of you, this looks like you being hurt in a partnership or relationship with someone else. And this is not just about the home environment. This is not just about the mom and the mother thing. This is about relationships specifically. That is the message that is coming through. I understand that the internet may be saying things that are completely different. I understand that. I am not here to tell them. I'm not here to tell them that they're wrong, and I'm not here to tell you that they're wrong. I'm here to give you the messages that I'm downloading right now. Okay, and I have to say that because I know that people are very particular. If people are not saying all the same things, they assume that people are wrong. And it's like, look, this is an intuitive thing here. Like, this is, all of us are tapping into our intuition, right? And I'm trusting what I'm feeling. Having said that, moving forward, I do feel like, again, some of you guys are being called to take responsibility for the role that you played in the disaster of whatever. And I say that because, again, Capricorn does rule responsibility. So with Capricorn ruling responsibility, it means that I'm going to do what I need to do, or it's going to do what it needs to do despite what it's feeling. It's like, I know that this is the reality of it, and I'm going to face that. If this is a hard lesson for you to learn, more than likely it's going to be felt times fucking 10 during the full moon. And honestly, like, it increases your drive, if that makes sense. Now, I want to kind of flip this a little bit and turn this around some, because there are also other additional messages coming through, and I also have the charts pulled up here. So Mercury is sitting in the 12th house in the sign of Cancer, and he is squaring off with the moon in Capricorn. So with this energy, this is more than likely making us feel, or for some of you guys, it's making you feel this intense need to sit within your own space and internalize your sentiments and what makes you feel emotionally safe and at home. Also, not only in your emotional bodies, but also in your physical bodies. Because when you think about the 12th house, for one, the 12th house is all about endings. It's all about your psychology, your shadow self, the things that you don't show, or the things that you don't see that you show in the world. It is the house of the subconscious. And so this is also one of the most misunderstood houses. Now, because of that energy, it makes, and then with it being in a sign of Cancer, it's like, these are the things that I feel, and that these are the things that make me feel safe. But for whatever reason, I don't want this to bleed out, or I want to keep this protected because I don't want someone to come in and to use that against me. That's what I'm hearing right now as I'm saying this. And it's interesting to me as well, because the sun is also sitting in the 12th house in Cancer, squaring off with the moon. Now, to me, this is all about us deep diving into our subconscious and exploring who we are on a psychological level and refraining from behaving based on who we believe that we are. It's where we are not necessarily enacting on our egos, but we're going within us and shining a light on these different elements of ourselves that we may not know that we show to the world, and also the things that we keep hidden, if that makes sense. Now, the interesting thing is that the sun and Mercury are both conjunct, teaming up together, squaring off with the moon and Capricorn. So this, to me, in my own little spiritual opinion, is helping us to explore the home within ourselves. And if we do decide to express these things, we're doing it in a very creative and intuitive way. For some people, I do see that, or I do feel that some of you guys, because Cancer is a very spiritual, emotionally spiritual sign, I also do want to say too that some of you guys, or a lot of us, are going to be experiencing this heightened intuition, right? As if we're not already intuitive enough. It's going to be to the fucking max. It's like taking a radio and turning it on full blast. That's what this energy is going to feel like. And I do feel like because of that, and because Mercury is there conjunct the sun, it's like there are things that some people are going to miss that you're going to pick up on. You are going to pick up on certain cues. A person may sneeze the wrong fucking way, and you're going to be like, okay, you sneeze this way. This means that more than likely you have not been doing this. It's like taking a Virgo and it's like a fucking emotional Virgo. Just put it that way. And I don't mean that as an attack. I'm saying because when you think about Virgo energy, Virgo picks up on the tiniest fucking details, especially because Virgo was ruled by Mercury. So with the sun and Mercury teaming up and the sign of Cancer, again, you're going to pick up on these different cues. Some people may say something, and not regular people, but to some people, it may not be as apparent that there's something beneath the surface. But you know, this energy with Mercury and the sun being in its whole house opposing the moon, it's like, okay, I'm seeing this for what it truly is. You said this, but I know that you really mean this. You said this and you did this, so I can tell that this is how you're really feeling. And for some of you guys, I want you to be careful, because I don't want you to internalize that and you feel that it's your fault. You see what I'm saying? For some of you guys, what this is, Spirit is saying for you to take that and understand that this is something, a power that you can harness in order to help others, if this makes sense. And do it, I just heard Spirit say, do it with your own style. Do it with a uniqueness. There's something to you that you can give, that you can show, that may help the people with the things that you're picking up on that they may not be. Also, you may be a lot more in tune with other people's subconscious and their shadow during this time as well. And the thing is that with this being a practical sign in Capricorn, with this happening during the Capricorn full moon, I feel like for some of you guys, you may not want to be so passive. You may want to actually do something about it and create this safe space for these people who are showing these different aspects to you. For others of you, you may take a moment to just simply stay to yourself and create a safe space to keep these energies out. And that's something that I also want to say too, is that because of the things that you guys are picking up on the other hand, it's like you want to create a safe haven and a safe space to keep these things out and from infecting your emotional body, if that makes sense. And I also, for whatever reason, I'm hearing connecting to Spirit through your emotions. Your emotions are indications that you are experiencing life in real time. Your emotions are indications that you are experiencing life in real time. And that's so interesting that that's what Spirit decided to give me. That's what came through. And I say that because Saturn is the father of time, and it is the planet of reality. It's the last planet you get to before you get to the other world, not otherworldly, but the outer planetary energies, if that makes sense. So before you can get to this higher dimensional understanding, you have to be able to experience these things in real time. It's reality, if that makes sense. So when you're in the midst of feeling, it's like, I am feeling this right now. This is what's happening with me right now. And because this is what's happening with me right now, I want to make sure that I am in a safe space. I want to make sure that I am grounded in my body. I want to make sure that I am in tune with my body. Now, for some of you guys, whatever your body is feeling or going through, you are feeling that on a deeply emotional level. So if your body is unhealthy, or it's going through a detox, or you are getting recalibrated, you are bringing your body back to an equilibrium, you are going to feel that on an emotional level. So for some of you guys, this looks like happiness. For others, it may be sadness or fear or anger or acceptance or what have you. Now, for whatever reason, I want to draw my attention to those who are not the first to open up, to those that are a bit more rigid. Capricorn, I'm low-key, high-key talking to you, but this doesn't just have to be you. It could just simply be anyone. So if any one of you is listening to this who has an extremely hard exterior, Spirit is calling you out right now. During the time of this full moon, you are going to more than likely find yourself in a space where you are forced to honor the softer parts of yourself because you've spent so long being hard and rigid and to yourself and not asking for help, knowing damn well that you need it, but because you don't want to burden anyone, because you don't want to feel like you're asking for too much, because you need it done a certain way, or because someone has done something to you to make you feel unworthy of help or support or emotional love and safety, right? Trauma responding. This full moon is going to highlight that for you. And it's going to show you where you have to show up and be emotionally responsible for yourself. And by being emotionally responsible, for some of you guys, this is going to look like you asking and reaching out for help. The problem is not you reaching out for help at all. It's the people that you asked for help from. Now, with you being, for some of you guys, you are very logical, you are very rational. Sometimes with you guys being too logical, you miss your intuitive self, or you don't tap into that into your intuitive self, and as a result of that, you sometimes end up making the wrong choice as it pertains to asking for help. Someone may seem as if, okay, well, they seem nice, and maybe this time around, they'll actually want to help me and give me the resources that I need to move forward or whatever, because they're doing well and they're in such a good mood or whatever, and they quote unquote like me or whatever, and then you ask for help and it's like, oh shit, it backfired. It's not to say that it's your fault, no, because you can't control how another person reacts to you. But if you tap into your intuition and use your discernment, it can help to alleviate some of it. You see what I'm saying? And even then, sometimes, I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes it's just a lesson. It is. And it's not a lesson necessarily in asking for help. Sometimes it is a lesson in you tapping into your intuition and knowing who is for you and who isn't, if that makes sense. For some of you guys who don't like to ask for help, more than likely you are someone who has an undying love for people, even though you don't show it, and you want to give help and you will give help. Just because you will doesn't mean the next person will. That's why it's important for us to tap into our intuition and set our intentions and really let the divine know, hey, this is what I need help with. Send the right people to me in order to help me in this way. In this sense, it's this emotional intimacy. It's this emotional aspect that we're needing not even just help with, but that we're wanting to experience. For whatever reason, I do feel that what's being brought to the surface here and what's being blown up and shown and thrown in your face is the fact that some of you guys are craving emotional closeness to someone, and you're afraid to ask for that intimacy because you're afraid of being burned. And so Spirit is saying that at the time of this full moon, you actually can you can give yourself permission to set your intention on emotional closeness and allowing yourself to be softened. It's like when people have like these really hard calloused feet, and then they go to the nail shop, and then their feet soak in the water, in the warm or the hot water, and then the nail technician scrubs, or they put the soap on it or whatever, and then they scrub the feet, softening up the feet, increasing the sensitivity. That's exactly what, I don't know why this is like the metaphor that's coming through, but that's exactly what this feels like. It's like you allowing yourself to be softened up by submerging and soaking and floating in this water, in this emotional body, if that makes sense. It's working with the water element and allowing yourself to be carried by water. Earth, you hold a lot of weight, but understand that water also can hold a lot of weight. It can help you to move when you feel too stuck. It can help you to move when your joints are aching. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the support that water gives you. It allows you to move freely while alleviating some of the pressure that you feel throughout life. And I feel like this is the beauty of this full moon, the super moon and Capricorn in Cancer season. I 1000% love that. Like, honestly, you guys. And it's so interesting because I, am a Capricorn sun. And so I feel this on an emotional level, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, right? Now, with this power conjunction, as I want to call it, in the sign of Cancer in its 12th house, I do also feel that for some of you guys, you may feel a deep sense of creativity, and you may even be more drawn to sentimental poetry, literature, and even the performing arts. For whatever reason, this is definitely what's coming through. I also feel that, if I'm not mistaken, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and that is actually sextile, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yes, it is sextile the full moon in Capricorn. So I do feel like there's this way of being, something about being like a dissolution or something like that. That's the word that's coming through, dissolution. I feel that some of you guys are letting down some of the boundaries in order to allow yourself to experience more. It's one thing to set a boundary, but sometimes when you build up these walls, they are too thick to penetrate through. And so that's where the dissolution comes in, because it's like it breaks away or dissolves some of that way something can get in that is nurturing, if that makes sense. And I do feel that vibe with Saturn being retrograde in the sign of Pisces. It almost makes you kind of open up a little bit more in your relationships and partnerships and things of that nature. And having said that, I actually want to move forward and talk a little bit about Jupiter, the great guru and spiritual teacher, because he is actually trining the moon. And because of that, that is also the energy that is making us want to open up more, but also it's like he'd be adding more positive energy to your family and other intimate relationships and dynamics. And I feel that in the midst of it all, when you're in this space of going through this intensity and feeling the depth of these emotions and all the the heightened feelings and the anxiety and things like that, it's like Jupiter comes along and says, okay, you guys have suffered enough. You guys have set the boundaries you need. Let me go ahead and give a little bit of blessing to you guys. That way you can feel a little bit more at ease. That way you can open up to receive this blessing even more. There is so much blessing and love and beauty in the suffering. And because you've endured so much suffering, it's now time for you to allow yourself to rise above this energy. This feels very encouraging, and for whatever reason, I just heard Spirit say this is a reminder for Capricorn to be a little bit softer and understand that it is okay to want and to go for softness. It is okay to be soft. It is okay for you to not chase your dreams per se, but to do what you need to do to obtain your dreams in a softer approach, in a softer way. And that's really what this energy really is all about. It's all about understanding that even though there are some things that may make you feel like it may put you on the fence, or it may make you feel defensive, or it may make you feel like you want to fight and rush to protect yourself. But Spirit is also saying that for the most part, it is also okay for you to be a little bit more soft and a lot less rigid right now at the time of this full moon. It is okay for you to be responsible and set forth motion in softness and gentleness. Give yourself permission to be soft. Give yourself permission to be gentle with yourself, especially. Sometimes compassion and understanding and love and softness and gentleness is given in moments where we feel that they're appropriate. But Spirit is saying is that there's so many more moments where we wouldn't even think it would be appropriate. For example, someone may snap at you and you just say, okay, they're snapping, but are they snapping at me, or are they feeling a little bit over the edge right now? And sometimes you giving them the compassion that your human mind will say they don't deserve can actually help them and say, you know what, I was wrong in that. I apologize. This is what's wrong. And then next thing you know, bam, you've created a safe space. That's what this energy of Jupiter brings. That's the energy of Jupiter during the Capricorn full moon. Now, you may not want to do that. That's up to you. I'm not saying you have to, but I am saying that for some of you guys, you may be feeling it on that level. Oh, by the way, if you guys hear any bells in the background, that is totally because I have a cat and she has a bell around her neck. So yeah, I gotta know where she's going. I gotta know when she's coming. I gotta know when she's trying to sneak up on me with her little cat reflexes and all that, trying to karate chop me and bust the ninja move on me and all that. Anyways, moving forward. All right. Another thing that I want to add about Jupiter is that during the time of this full moon, I do feel that for those who are not used to sitting with their emotions and also their feelings, I feel like that will be the time where we are more inclined to explore these emotions and feelings. Why do we feel the things that we feel? Why are we experiencing certain emotions and things of that nature? The role they play in our lives and how we can grow and expand our consciousness through feeling and through experiencing emotion. And I also do feel like it will give us this wanting again to connect with the people that we love, that we have bonds with, that we are bonded to on a more emotional level. Honestly, that's what it feels like to me. Not only are we exploring our own emotional needs, but we are also exploring the emotional needs of others, and we are finding ways to be practical about giving and exchanging and receiving these energies, if that makes sense. All right, you guys. Now, something else that is standing out to me is Chiron and Aries squaring off with the full moon in Capricorn. For whatever reason, this makes me feel like some of us may feel this extreme amount of empathy and wanting to take the initiative to not only help us with our own emotional healing journeys, but also with others. That right there speaks volumes in itself. And I feel that the things that we feel, for whatever reason, this is bringing me to insecurity. It's like the things that make us feel insecure about ourselves, because Capricorn is the energy that wants to do, and not only does Capricorn want to do for itself, but it also does it for the world. And sometimes Capricorn energy does have this insecurity as it pertains to its, how it shows up. So for whatever reason, this is bringing me, and you could just take that as it resonates. You can agree or you could disagree, whatever. I'm not here to say you're right or wrong. I'm just here to, again, to give a message. So I feel like, having said that, it almost kind of makes, at the time of this full moon, it makes me feel intuitively that some people are going to want to have more empathy and not react so hasty to certain things that people do, to certain insecurities that another person may have, or even to their own insecurities. And I really do feel like there's this need to be, again, soft and gentle with the self and with others, and showing that and showcasing that through this profound sense of empathy. Now, the last message that is coming through is that, and especially to bring this around full circle, right? So I feel like as it pertains to your dreams, your aspirations, what you're setting your attention for as far as your career and your purpose and things of that nature, I really do feel like Spirit is saying that it is really essential for you to take your time and baby step yourself, especially because there are a lot of energies that may be triggering you at the time of this super moon. So super moons, we're going to be feeling this again. The feelings are going to be amplified. We're going to be more in tune and in touch with ourselves on an extremely deep level. So as it pertains to your careers, as it pertains to your aspirations and your dreams, we're doing these, or we're going after them in a way that is soft, in a way that is gentle, in a way that is graceful, is the word that I want to use. Now, if I were going to do something to help me get through this full moon, I would, one, dive into literature and poetry, and sentimental and romantic poetry. Honestly, like real shit. Like for me, for example, I'm a poet, of course. So of course I'm going to do that. But if you are someone who has been interested in writing or interested in the performing arts, I do feel, and for whatever reason, dance is coming through right now, so that the things that you cannot linguistically articulate through spoken word or even through film, you may want to do this or dance, because your body can speak in a way that your tongue cannot. For whatever reason, that is what the vibe is for some of you guys. It's, you can't articulate it, you can't say it, but you can express it through showing it through your body. And it's interesting because, of course, this is Capricorn energy, so this definitely connects us to the realness of the body, if that makes sense. So baby steps towards your goals. And also, Spirit is saying for you to reprioritize, to really sit with yourself, sit with your emotions, and really put those on the forefront, because those were the things that were being neglected because you spent so much time working and doing other things to make ends meet. Spirit is saying that your emotional body here is being highlighted, and it is up to you to take the responsibility to show up for yourself and in an emotionally supportive way. So emotions are a priority for a lot of you guys right now. And also, Spirit is saying feeling intensely through the process, feeling each and every moment, each and every illusion of second is what Spirit is saying for you to feel through, right? And again, emphasis on baby steps towards your goals. This is not something that you need to rush. This is not something that you need to put pressure on yourself for. I mean, unless that's what you want to do, if that's your vibe, you go ahead and do you, boo. You do you, boo. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm saying that, Spirit is saying that it is wise not to put these unnecessary timelines on yourself and to remember the importance of feeling. Now, one thing that I also want you guys to remember is that when you are setting your goals, remember these are long-term goals, because Capricorn is a sign ruled by Saturn. And again, Saturn is all about withstanding the test of time and longevity and permanence and sustainability. So Spirit is saying that when you set your goals, to make sure that they are long-term, and to remember to go well beyond what you believe to be realistic and push past your boundaries, right? And experiencing your emotions and experiencing these things, because this is a part of the human connection. This is a part of the human experience. I would rather feel than not feel at all. And for some of you guys, you're used to not feeling, you're used to being numb, and this numbness that you've been feeling is now being broken up, especially at the time of the full moon. It's going to be chipped and broken apart, and then you're going to be cracked wide open for yourself for the divine to pour this healing, loving light into you, because you've been so closed off and now you're opening up. Okay, so those are the messages that are coming through for this Capricorn full moon. If I have anything else to add, I will do so on my Instagram, so be on the lookout for that. For those of you guys that don't know, oh, yes, I should probably say. So for those of you guys that want to work your magic at the time of the full moon, the herbs that I'm picking up on are chamomile, rosemary, and sage. Now, chamomile is amazing because it does help you to relax and relieve anxiety and stress, but not even just that. It also helps promote sleep, especially when paired with lavender. But in this sense, it also does help to bring in that moolah. It does help to bring in money. It is all about longevity and things being permanent and it lasting, of course. And then rosemary also helps with the clearing out and purification of energy. It's all about protection, and it also does help to promote clarity and things of that nature. And then, of course, sage helps to completely wipe out all energy. So when using sage, remember to fill up the space with the energy that you wish to be present, right? Because whenever you clear out energy with sage, anything can come through, right? Now, I'm not saying this is spooky or to scare you, but when you are, again, working with sage, it is highly important that you follow up with some sweetgrass or some Palo Santo, or maybe like a spray, a floral spray, to fill the energy with whatever essence you wish to fill. If you are on my podcast and are on my platform, then more than likely you actually do have a benevolent intent. Let's just say that, because I know that there's some energies out there that be all out here doing some freaky shit for whatever So we ain't about that over here, right? We are all about love, growth, healing, and all that good shit. And also implementing our shadow in a very healthy and necessary way, right? But we ain't here to get into all that. Speaking of which, I would also be working with the planets Saturn, and I would also be working with the moon. So in order to honor Saturn, I would definitely wear black. I would also, and or indigo, you can also do that, but I would definitely wear black. I would be working with, if you're going to be doing something with banishing, I would say working with burdock root, dragon's blood, frankincense for purification, of course, and I would also use a black candle. I would also use a purge and banishing ritual oil strictly for anointing candles and objects. And if I were you guys, I would use charcoal powder and castor oil, black castor oil, as the main ingredients for the oil. I'm not going to give away all the ingredients, but I would definitely do that if you're looking for growth, stability, and things of that nature. If you are going to be working with oils, of course, I would definitely say patchouli. Patchouli is amazing because it's very grounding, it's very earthy, and you can also use patchouli not only for sensuality, but you can also use patchouli for money and things of that nature. So I would definitely be using patchouli. It's very, again, earthy and grounding, and it smells so freaking good. Like, whew, it smells so fucking good, right? So anyways, yes. Also, just a quick hint, by the way, if you guys are looking for a money oil, I have those available online, of course. But also, if you guys want to, just a quick witch tip, I would probably combine almond oil along with grapeseed oil, because almond oil also has money vibes all over it. And I just wanted to give you guys that quick little nugget right there. You feel me? You're welcome. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. So please don't take me seriously. Yes, but seriously though, you can definitely combine those two oils as a base oil together if you like. And yes, so those are just a few things that I would be working with. I will not reveal everything that I will be working with because I feel like my rituals are definitely very sacred. Again, remember the ingredients that I kind of told you for the banishing candle. If you guys are going to be banishing energy, remember that when you are banishing energy, you are telling the divine what you want to receive. I banish these energies away from me to receive this energy, if that makes sense. I ain't here to tell you how to work your magic, but that is a quick witch tip. Okay? All right. I feel like that is it. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me tonight. It is currently 1:33 in the morning, and I need to be up early because I got to get some content created. And now I'm just rambling. So thank you all for spending time with me here tonight. I appreciate all of you for your presence, your appreciation, your support, your persistence, and your undying love for me. I appreciate the time that we spend together. It is always a pleasure, and it is always an honor to be before you and to be alive and experiencing life at the same time as you. Like, how fucking lucky am I to be alive at the same time as you? I am so honored. Right? And I love you guys so much. Okay. If you guys need anything from me, please visit me online at magicofeden.com. You guys can follow along with me and hold my hand, of course, by following Magic of Eden. By the way, the Magic of Eden podcast page on Instagram, I'm going to be shutting that page down to focus the work all on Magic of Eden, but I am still going to have Shadows X Magic open because that is where we talk about kink, BDSM, and reclaiming our divinity and healing through kink, right? So we're going to keep that up. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will catch you all in the next podcast episode.